welcome to my video on wood carving. Today we're going to carve, or attempt to carve anyway, this rolling pin here. I picked it up just walking around shopping the other day. I was at flea markets and stuff, and they have those little sales, you know. Some people have those bins out all over the place, and you know, you can get stuff for $1. So I bought it for $1. Same type of rolling pin you'd pick up at like the dollar store or Dollar General or something like that. Okay, so it's not really expensive, and it's a good little neat afternoon project. So we're going to see how it carves. It's not in the best shape like a good hard maple rolling pin. The handles need to be sanded. It's kind of chipped up, but what the heck, for $1, we'll see what we can do with it. Okay, what I want you to do is strop your knife first. For those of you that don't know how to strop a knife, I'm going to strop mine, make sure it's nice and sharp. This right here you get usually with at a carving store. You can get this little strop here. It's got a piece of leather on it. You rub some compound on it. This is what the compound looks like. Usually comes with it, right? So what I'm going to do is put that down, rub some compound on it quick, and run my knife across it a couple times. You should strop your knife about every 10 minutes or 15 minutes of carving, I guess, or whenever you seem to be losing some sharpness. So what you do is, after you put your compound on, you put your knife down flat. Okay, just put the blade flat on it, and then rub it across the leather, flip it over. Keep the blade flat. Try not to angle it any more than you have to. Try and keep that bevel that's on your blade. You don't want to reshape the bevel at all, or dull it. Okay, might as well do my other ones while I'm here. Right there. I always have a couple detail knives with me. Some have a little longer blades than others. Sometimes one's a little more comfortable to hold than another, or gets in the spot that I'm trying to get in a little better. Okay, now back to this rolling pin. Maybe I'll use a marker. First of all, I'm going to find the best side to carve, and I'm probably thinking about right here, I guess. That looks pretty good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by drawing a line. I'm going to need a hairline around here, I guess. At least this is round already, so I don't really have to do much shaping there. We're just going to make a line just like that. I'll take my detail knife, score it best I can, right across. I'm going to undercut it, of course. No, this doesn't carve too bad, so it'll be interesting. Okay, I want to take some of that wood out underneath that line. Try and shape it a little. According to the way it's already going. Alright. Down over the sides. Right. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to put my carving glove on for this. I usually don't wear one, which is a bad idea. But for this, I don't trust any slippies. It's not the usual basswood I carve. Okay, so what I'm going to do, again, get a little thinner knife here, handle. You guys see that? I'm going to make sure that's cut in pretty good. A little stronger blade on this knife. I'm going to take the wood out from underneath it, trying to maintain the shape of the rolling pin, right, down over the sides. I want to keep it high in the middle a little bit because of course we want to put a nose in. Right. It's tough stuff though. Should carve pretty clean. Okay. And all I'm doing here, you could probably power carve these really nice. It's basically getting myself a little hairline established there. Okay, go from the center out to the sides. And keep it high in the center. Okay. So now we have a little bit of a divot there where we're going to form our face. I might come down a little more on the sides. What I'm going to do is use my pencil here. I don't really like that marker. I'm going to come down and see the sweep here I'm going with. That way I can follow the way the rolling pin shaped. Right. I'm going to go down to the side. Make a stop cut. On the other side. And follow that stop cut. Okay. Remove the wood under it. Do your removal cut. And try to keep taking that down over the edge, but and still maintaining some height in the middle here. Okay, and flip it over to the other side, score that line. I'm always worried about if I'm in the camera or not, so I keep checking over my shoulder. So I put my glove on too. I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm more interested in wondering if you guys can see. Right, I'm gonna have to move this way. Maybe that's a little better. I don't have to worry about being off camera there. Okay, let's try and zoom in a little here. That's a little better, huh? Okay. Alright, so now we have this cut out a little bit. We're going to put our nose, our lines for our nose. And the nose is going to be, well, let me start with an eye bridge first, I guess. I'm going to draw a line straight across just like that. You see that? And then we're going to take our detail knife, score that line, take some wood out right up to it. I'm going to carve. Still, when I get over towards the end of it, I kind of round it to the side. Okay, on this side, kind of round it a little to the side. Okay, just to get that little eye bridge in there. I wonder how the V tool would work on that. Let's try that for a minute. I'm going to run the V tool. I have to flip it over. Get that ridge a little better. A little quicker than doing the whole thing with the knife. Okay, now you can see I got a nice little brow line going. Okay. Now I'm going to take my marker. Probably, remember we always try to split the face in thirds. From the top of the forehead down to the brow line. The eyes. Okay. From the eyebrow line here. Another third down to the bottom of the nose. So I'm going to leave it a little longer. Probably about there. Like that. And do our removal cut underneath it. Take some wood out. Okay. A little bit more. Okay. And we're going to take the same gouge. flip it over. Okay. Stick it right about where that last cut left off. We're going to make some nostril holes. Dig it in. Especially in the corner there. Same on this side. Dig it in a little bit. Get deep in the corner. Towards the outside corner is what I'm talking about there. Okay. And that's going to be start shaping the bottom of our nose. Put the nostril holes in. I'm going to remove those, the wood from underneath those. Okay. This rolling pin's got some tough wood. Didn't think it would be so tough. That's good though. Okay. Remove on this side. Sure doesn't carve as easy as basswood, that's for sure. Okay. At the corner over here, those nostrils, I like to take wood out of there. Like that. Flip it over. Give yourself some room there. Okay. Round this off a little. I'm really going to take some wood out of the nose right from the start, out from underneath it. Clean it up. Detail knife. These things are round, you got to really shape them according to the shape of whatever it is you're carving. Sometimes you want to carve, I guess, but that's my experience. Okay, so that's all taken out from underneath. Right? Needs to clean up a little more yet, but as we go, that's all going to be carved out, so I'm not really worried about whatever's sticking there. Now what we're going to do is come to the corner about here, and we're going to sweep our gouge up in here right into the corner. Towards the center. We're going to try and get deep there, right, there to shape our nose. We're going to take all that out. Okay, so I'm going to get my gouge, lay it right on the corner of that nostril, and push it up right to the brow line. Take all that wood out. So you got to start forming a nice shape. Now I'm going to go to the side, staying underneath that brow line right here, just like this. Coming in. I'm trying to do this slow. I'll show you. Just like that. Okay, take that wood out. Don't worry about the little fuzzies and stuff hanging off, little chips. We'll clear them out later. Okay, can you see what I did there? If I pick it up, I'm sorry I get out of the camera. It's kind of over my shoulder and I have to turn my head to see if I'm on it or not. Okay, so right in here. Like I say, right at the corner there, you want to get in nice and deep. And then come from this side. Okay, over here. Stay underneath your brow line. And take that in and take it out just like that. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Clean this up. That'll all shape together nice with the detail knife, since we're just using detail knives today and gouges. Okay, now we're going to go to the other side. Let's see if you can get this. Going to turn them so you can see that other side. Right on the corner there. Wiggle it up to you're right under that brow line. I really should have a monitor in front of me. Okay, this one I'm going to take from here since I'm right-handed. Okay, you see him starting to shape up now. So I took the corner out, or went from the corner of the nose hair, all the way up to here. You come from the side and clean that out, okay? I'll probably hit this with a ruby carver, and I think that'll really work nice in cleaning it up. It'll smooth all that wood right down. You can tell it's kind of pressed together. It's not really like a solid piece of maple, or I'm really not sure what kind of wood it is. It's supposed to be maple. Okay. That's why it's so tough to carve. Maple carves nice, but it can be rough. It's hard wood. Okay. Now, we got our nose and our eyes, the sockets anyway, started. A hairline established. I'm going to see how he sands for a minute, clean him up a little bit, and then come back and we'll take the next couple of steps. Okay, I'm back. What I did was I went off camera for a minute, got some sandpaper to see how he sanded up. He sands up pretty good. I think I'm going to do a video on power carving one of these, because I used a ruby carver over here in the corners and it really smoothed them out nice. And I just did it for a couple seconds. I don't want all those chips hanging around and stuff, because I don't really have a big set of tools in front of me. I'm trying to do it with some simple stuff. But sandpaper would have done the same thing. And it did, actually. I didn't even work on them that hard. So it's probably a good little cheap, inexpensive thing you can buy, and it'll carve up pretty good. It's actually my first time doing one of these, so one of these type of rolling pins. I've carved a lot of rolling pins, but I think this material is going to work out okay. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, here to the sides, and we're going to push our gouge right over here to form these nostril holes. Okay. Or the sides of the nose, the sides of the nostrils. Can't talk today. Okay, I don't know if you can see that or not. All right, we're going to take our gouge and dig it in there and make quick work of those. Again, a nice, simple, easy nose. So we're going to take it from the center, kind of work it down towards the... Oh, my thumb is in the way there. Hold on, I don't know if you can see that with my glove on. Maybe I should get it out of the way here. I'm going to need it for support. There you go. Now, right here, and you're going to push that gouge right in, nice and deep. Okay? Just like that. And we're going to come over to the other side. To do that, I'm going to flip it over. Push that in just like that. I'm going to remove that chip and remove that chip there. Okay. There we go. And we have a nose. Okay. So the nose is carved out, shaped in there pretty good. What we're going to do next is take some wood over here, right out of the sides. Kind of want this to sweep in like this. So I want this area lower. I have to take some wood out right in here. Right, I'm going to use a bigger gouge for that. Okay. See the gouge I'm using here? I'm not sure if this is a number 7 or number 11. I think this is a number 11 flex cut. Okay. What I'm going to do, so you can see that sweep on it there. It's a pretty good little scooper. Okay. And what I'm going to do is scoop some wood here and scoop some wood here. So before I do that, I want to score a line to stop, and I want it to come down at an angle like this. Okay, I'm just going to make me a stop cut here, because the beard's going to have to go in there. And one over here, about like that. Okay, just put a stop cut there, and I'm going to try to stay underneath the nose as much as I can, and just thin that out. There we go, and I can get all this to come down into there. There. I just don't want it to split on me, that's why I put the stop cut there, because this wood's pretty unpredictable. Okay. I want to leave some cheeks high, since that's curved. Can't get under there really good with it, so I'll put another cut with my detail knife, but I'll clean it out with that. Yeah, this stuff, it does carve, but it's a little bit of a hassle. Alright, so what I want you to do on the next one, the other side, I'll show you how you can do that with your detail knife. Now we already put the stop cut here. Okay, and I want to stay underneath the nose. And what I'm going to do is like a rolling cut, where this just kind of, you roll it. You roll your knife like that. Right? And scoop some of that wood out. Actually, that works better than the gouge on this wood. The wood is kind of, see, it kind of thins the face down here and gives you a little bit of a mound starting to shape for the mustache area. And we'll come back up. Again, it all depends on the material you're using when you carve. And this is kind of flaky, and probably would power carve better than it does with a knife. I have had some rolling pins that just carve beautifully with the knife. And depends on how old they are, the type of wood, how good the wood is. Even I've had two different maple rolling pins, and one was hard as a rock, you could barely take anything off it. The other one just carved like butter. You know, it was kind of weird, but again, it depends on the wood and what it's going to let you do. Okay, so we have that shaped out. A little bit more over here. I think I want to thin that out a little more. That's all going to run down into the beard then. Okay, on this side, clean that up with the knife a little. I'll come inside my stop cut here. There we go. Okay, there's a nice little shadow. I'm going to do this on, same on this side. Dig that stop cut in a little bit. Dig it in there. Get my shadow by undercutting that. And you'll see where we're going to run the beard, or at least the start of it. My glove in the way there. Okay, so you see how that's starting to shape right there? Okay, good. Need a little more shadow on this side. So I'm going to take that out. And usually wood doesn't splinter up that much when you carve it. This is some kind of half and half, I think. Half wood, half plastic or something. I don't know what it is. I tell you the truth. It says wood on the package. Okay. But it does carve. Yeah, it's starting to shape up a little. Okay, now we need to figure out a mustache. We're going to keep the roundness here. We're going to maintain that peak in the center. Okay? Because you want to keep this area right here higher than over here on the sides. Alright, and that'll give them a nice little mustache. So what we're going to do, start up here by our smile line, we're going to cut that in. We'll bring that down. This one here, about over here, we'll bring that down and over. Try and make him a big wispy mustache, I guess. Like that. Okay, it'll kind of look okay, I guess. Now we're going to have to run our stop cuts underneath that. Okay, we'll do the bottom first. I'm going to take my knife, dig it in, go underneath my mustache, get a good stop cut in there, flip it over, take the wood out from underneath, try and erase some of that pencil line on the bottom too, just to establish about where we want that. Okay, other side I'm going to stop cut. Removal cut underneath it. Right in the center, I'm going to make it pretty deep. You can make them pretty good there. I'll try and cut a little wedge out from underneath that mustache in the middle there. Just going to form a little bit of a shadow for his mouth. Okay, let's clean all that up. Need a deeper stop cut on this side. And you can see the mustache forming some shadow there. Really have to get some good wood to show you guys some nice carvings on. I keep doing these little tutorials and stuff for teaching with found wood, scrap wood, dollar store rolling pin here. Starting to look like a wood spirit though. Okay, we have to cut the sides in. We're going to cut the nose in first before we go on the outside here. So I want you to take your knife, make sure you kind of angle it outward. Alright, you don't want to go straight in and undercut too much. You want to angle it outward and really outline the side of that nose, that nostril, or on the side of his nose, his nostrils, underneath, I guess. Alright, so really dig it in there. Make sure you don't lose any part of that nose for when you do the next cut, which is to follow that line straight down. We're going to put our knife in, and we're going to come straight down and almost to the end of that line. Okay? Straight down. If you do go to the line, don't worry about it at the end. It really doesn't matter. I just don't like to take it all the way to the end for reasons you will see later, I guess. Then what we're going to do is go to the outside, stay on the outside, and take some wood out there. Okay. A little bit more wood out. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, you want to take your knife, make sure you angle it a little outward, really cut that nostril in, or the wing, side of the nose, whatever you want to call it. Not the nostril, I keep saying nostril, sorry about that. And then we're going to score that line, okay, the outside line of the mustache here. Dig your knife in, be careful, get a good stop cut in there, come down, do it again, just to be sure I got a good cut in. Okay, I'm going to flip this one over for a minute. Hopefully you can see. I'm going to shave to the outside of it. Okay, take some wood out, make that mustache stand out. When I get up to here, then I'm going to change. I'm going to turn it over. Come up underneath. Okay. That chip out there. Trying to stay in the camera for you here. At the same time, I gotta be able to get that angle to cut. I'm gonna flip it over here. There. Okay, so you can see the shadow. So the mustache is defined pretty good there. Okay. Excuse me. Now, we still want to clean up the side of his face here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that while I'm here and looking at him. As I look at him, there's a lot of little bumpy stuff. Let's smooth that up. Shave it up with your detail knife. Reestablish some of the deeper spots. Okay, that don't look bad. Smooth this over. This you want to cut into your stop cut, right? You want those cheeks to cut into the stop cut, okay? And again, stay on the outside of that mustache stop cut that you did. Okay, clean up this cheek a little bit. I hate when that wood splits there, but can't do nothing about this material. Still trying to figure out the best way to approach it here so it doesn't split out. Taking very little. I mean, you might buy one of these in the store and get a really nice carvable one. This one seems to have some hard spots in it that just don't want to work with you. Basically, I prefer the old vintage rolling pins myself. But like I say, for $1 you can't beat it. Okay. Forehead up here. I'm going to separate right here. We're going to separate his eyebrows. I'm going to look for, well, I guess I can show you how to do that with the detail knife for now. I usually like to use a gouge here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a V cut here. Just going to dig my knife in. Okay, turn it over. Right in the center. Dig it in there. And we can run that nose up right in between the eyebrows. Okay. Take some wood out. Try and get your nose to be pointing your nose where it starts to center up in there pretty good. Okay. Give us a form a brow line there. This is where we're going to actually start doing our eyebrows and stuff. Right, this right here can sweep up and over like this. You can make it higher, low. Something like that. Anything you want to put in there. Right. Now we could stop cut those. What I like to do is take out the center of the forehead more. I'm going to show you how to do that with a little gouge. With a V-tool, you can do it with a V-tool. Most people probably have a V-tool instead of a gouge, so you buy a couple of tools online. Everybody usually gets a V-tool, so let's use a V-tool for this. Basic V-tool. I'm going to go right in that little wedge I just cut. And I'm going to push my V-tool right up to the hairline. Separate that good. Okay? Separating those two eyebrows there. Okay, see that ridge? Now you can take your knife and shave. Maybe I'll dig it in there where that brow starts. Keep that. You could shave it down to that point. Okay, score this. You could use your V-tool to just cut the eyebrows in too. But if you want to leave a little bit of that ridge for the eyebrow there, just make a stop cut along it and then shave down to it. And flip it over and go up to the forehead. And you can play with how thick you want them. That's an easy way to start forming them. Or you can shave the whole forehead down with a gouge too. Now score the other one. I've been learning to add 2 stop cuts with this rolling pin. Holy crow. Okay. Let's smooth that up. Take this side, shave it down, come down to your stop cut. You need a little removal cut after that. And that's what you do. And shave it up into your hairline up there. Like I said, you could just cut them in with a V. Oh, I just broke my eyebrow there. Stop cut still wasn't established. That's okay. You're a wood carver, you carve another one. That's what I was told when I was learning. Break a nose off. I got told, well, you're a wood carver, carve another one. Didn't help me when I was beginning this stuff. Still doesn't seem to help me because I hate when something breaks off. But if you got wood left, you can work with it. I'll play with that a little later. That's why I'd really rather split it and just take this all down with a gouge instead of working to the stop cut. See how this wood splinters? It really doesn't shave well. That way you could use the same techniques here on a stick. Make a little wood spirit face on a stick. Okay. I believe I broke that little ridge on my eyebrow. That's okay. Clean them up. We'll work with it. Sometimes you can only do what the wood lets you do. It doesn't always do what you want it to do. I'm going to undercut that there. Get me a little more brow line. Underneath there. Okay. On this side, I'm going to shave him this way. His eyebrow. Probably going to have to really undercut that to get that eyebrow to come out more again. So, might as well do it now. Take all that out. Okay, that looks like that'll form that again. It says as long as you have wood, you can always make another one. That's why you don't want to take off any more wood than you need to when you carve. I'm going to clean that cheek up a little here. Get underneath that new brow that I just cut in. Make sure he's established and setting good before I go any further. Okay. This one too. Probably like a sad, droopy look on the eyes on these guys. They look pretty neat. So I'm going to angle them down a little. Okay. Yeah, he's looking pretty good. There's still a little chipped up here, but nothing some sanding won't take care of, and some more picking at him with my detail knife. Okay. That's finished stuff. That's not a problem. Okay, next step. Putting the bottom lip in. I'm going to cut this mouth in a little bit better because I want some real good shadow there. So I'm going to score underneath it really good again. Get some good depth. Carving's all about shadows. So the more depth you get, in, like under here, you'll see when we really dig them in at the end. I like to really dig that forehead in, dig in the sides of the cheeks, under the mustache. You want some real good shadow because that's what's going to really set that carving off, you know, and set it apart from other carvings. And it really shows the character of the carving. It gives it character, actually. Okay, dig that in pretty good, take that out. I'm dying to power carve one of these now. Because it would be so quick, I could tell already. Doing more chipping it up with my knife than. But I could tell this type of material already after just sanding it a little bit. Power carving it would be a dream. They're going to be great for that. It's a little dollar store rolling pin project. Okay, so we got a little bit of shadow under his mouth now. We'll get back in the camera code. Alright, and I want to draw a bottom lip. And give him a pretty good, about here. I guess we could do that lip, something like that. About here, we'll cut that up. I'm going to take my knife and go right up in here. See where I am there? Pull that out. Undercut to it. I'm going to pop that little chip out there. This will give you more depth in the mustache too at the bottom. Try not to cut into the lip you just drew. You're just going from the corner, right, then down the mustache. And do the same on the other side. First I'm going to do the mustache. Going down underneath the mustache there. Okay, and I'm going to, right here, you see where I am there on that lip? I'll try and get a close-up. Right there. Okay, I'll put my knife, I'll push it in. I got to put it on the table to get some, because this thing is hard. It's rolling pin. Get some depth there, right? And then you want to put that underneath the mustache there, okay? Turn it this way to really get under it. Yeah, I think power carving is going to be the way to go. That or mount it and then use the mallet. A mallet and some good chisels would really work good too. It's fun to whittle away at it, but like I said, there's a quicker way to do it. But if all you got is a detail knife, you can definitely get it done. And I'm going to angle that lip down a little bit. Angle it down here. Score where I want it to be. Shave up to it. I'm going to have to cut the lip off. Just little tiny cuts. Bring it out. Nothing too big and drastic. Cut it right off. And here, dig the mouth out a little bit more. To do a cottonwood piece one day. Cottonwood carves so nice. I'm doing something like this, I feel like carving some cottonwood. Okay. Getting some shadow. He's got a little lip established. Gonna need to take some of this out. That I'm gonna do with a gouge because that would take forever. It's really, I think it's time to strap my knife again. This thing's beating up my knife pretty good. I got a tough one here. But you want to make sure a lot of that wood, like I said, you want the wood underneath the mustache lower than the mustache. At least to a point anyway, to down here, and then you can start flowing the beard hair. Otherwise he's just not going to look as natural. Okay. Up here we still have to establish a hairline, right, to take down and get this beard to go down into that. Or we could leave it just like that. I like to round this off and then put the hair up into the up in here. Right. That you do with a gouge also. Right. Now I could hit this with a sanding drum and really take it down. It would work really well to get all of this out really good. I could tell the sanding drum would really rip this wood right off. Just a Dremel and a sanding drum, a good tough sanding drum. Right. We're going to use a gouge. I'm going to go back to my big flat gouge here. I believe it's a number 11. I got to get the numbers right. I'm going to use these a lot. I do use the number 5 a lot, but I don't use the bigger ones too often. I am going to use it for this, though. I'm going to put it on the table, just so I can show you what I'm doing here. I'm going to take a lot of this wood out here. Alright. I just want to make that lower and make the top part stand out a little bit more. Okay. I'm going to try and put this down on the table here so I can scoop some of that out. And just scoop a bunch of it out. There you go. I could probably do it holding so I can show you. It seems to chip that way on this material, but okay, see what I'm doing there? The other way it doesn't chip up as much when I lay it on the table, but I want you to see what I'm doing. For some reason when I come down from this angle it really starts splitting out. But I'm wasting away wood anyway right now, so I don't really, I'm not going to worry about that. Coming back up this way is the way I should be carving this. I don't want to split. Okay. Gives it a little texture too. There's some ridge lines in there for when you add the beard hair. Okay. Now I know it doesn't look like much right there, but it's when we go to the next step that you'll see that beard start forming. Be careful under your mustache. You want to cut it off. Okay. Now, right here on the side, this is where you're going to start seeing the beard come in, right? What we're going to do here is this is going to be the beard. Okay, right about from here. It's all going to shape in. Over here, the same thing on this side. We'll look at it from the side so we can see it. Okay, it's going to shape in here. And then come down to about like that. I'm going to make that a little wider. Okay. So all of that, starting right here by the mustache, I'm going to take down with this gouge. I'm going to try and not bother the outside of that mustache too much there. Then this right here has got to get lower. Everything that we had cut in. I did a pencil line. Okay, again, going that way doesn't seem to do it like you could normally carve on this particular piece anyway. I'm going to kind of take it this way. You see what I'm doing there? I'm actually on the side here and I'm taking where I drew that pencil line. Okay, just taking it up and trying to blend it together and still leave this piece right here. I still want that there because I'm probably going to sweep it right into the beard then. Alright, but I want those cheeks underneath that still. So I'm trying not to take that away. Okay, get back down here so I can do it. underneath the mustache. Trying to get that. Okay. Now this looks pretty good. And do the other side. Right in here I'm going to reestablish my cheek. I really like the way that cuts in and kind of stays. His face is kind of on the inside, and then when this comes down, the beard, this will all be beard hair, you know. So that'll be good. I wish this would clean up just a little nicer. But this isn't the best material. Okay. Other side, the same thing. We're going to take it from up here, right, and we're going to run, just cut this in, we're going to run it down and try and smooth all that into this line that we drew. I'll follow that line and gouge it up pretty good so it's lower on the outside here of the mustache. We want this lower, okay. Take that down so our mustache stands out. And all through here, make all this lower than the mustache and form this side of the beard that we're looking at here. Okay, that's what we're trying to look at. So when you look at it from the side, he has a definite profile. Okay. Then go back to the gouge, put it on the table, start running it up. I'm going to watch my mustache there. And establish where I want the profile of his beard to look. Okay, see that? The gouge does leave a pretty neat effect. Now if I come down here and just scoop like this, make some divots with the gouge and go all the way around, taking that pencil line off. Okay, taking the pencil line off all the way around. Sorry, when I put it on a table, I know you can't see it, but it's really tough to do it without some kind of anchor here, like that. What we're doing is this. Making those little gouge marks all the way around, up that pencil line, okay? Gives it a neat texture. I'll show you when I'm done. If I get out of the camera, I'm sorry. Okay. Now, if you see, I don't know if you can see that. See how those ridges kind of shape up that beard pretty good? Gouge marks all the way around. Okay. Now we should shut this light off behind me. It looks a little too bright. Turn it away so a little better. More shadow to see. There you go. Okay, you can see the effect of those gouge marks now. Okay. Okay, he's looking pretty good. Let's decide what else we can do here. We could do the same thing up here and round that off with the gouge up top here and put some hair. Okay, I'm going to sand him a little and then come back because it seems to work a lot nicer when I sand them down a little bit. Like I said, this dollar store rolling pin is not really the best piece to work on, but he's coming along okay. So I'll be right back, get a cup of coffee, and we'll resume from then. Okay, I'm back. What I did was I sanded him down a little bit. Okay, shut the light off so you can see a little bit better. Make sure I can stay in the camera too. Got myself a cup of coffee. It definitely made a difference. No, I stropped my detail knives again. I'm going to use a different one with a better point on it this time. This is one I just made, so I'll be using that one, and I think that's going to make the world of difference too. Once he's sanded down, I seem to be getting into some better wood too. I recut his mustache a little bit more, you know, underneath after I gouged it, but you can see the gouge marks, okay, a lot better with the light difference, I think, and the shadow on him. What we're going to do next is we're going to come up in here. We're going to take some of that wood out. We're going to round it off and start working on some hair. Okay, I'm going to use that same number 11, okay, the big gouge. I'm just going to round this off up in here. And take that down some. I know I'm not wearing my glove again, but it's just a lot easier for me to control everything without that big clunky glove. I don't recommend, if you haven't carved for a while especially, that you do that. People mowing grass outside today. It's a pretty day out. I'm here in Pennsylvania. Okay, see how I just did that now? I just took some wood out there, rounded that off, and now I can put some hair up there, and it'll kind of flow, you know, from under here up. If I want to put a part, I'll show you how we can do that too. But I just want to help the hair flow up into the area that's not carved by kind of angling its way up with this gouge. I'll turn it over here a little bit, get some of that so it goes into the beard here. Get rid of that pencil line that's here. Yeah, we do seem to be getting into better wood now that it's taken down a little more. You can see how it's a little rougher until you get it down up in here. Okay. Now you can run a V tool in here. You can draw the lines you want, whatever. I could even run the gouge up through there and it'll actually give it a little more texture. If I take the gouge and kind of run it where I want to put a couple of those hairlines, okay, to help the transition into that thicker wood up there. We could do something like that. Okay, and then we'd smooth that out, of course, after we tool our hair in. Maybe one more here. There's a little one. One here. That's a good start. Then I'm going to take my V tool, give me an idea how this works. Okay, and just run it up through some of these. You can shape all those down later, but it gives you a ridge to get those lines in a little better, for a little better effect. Okay. See how he's starting to get some here. They're going to run it over. Run it over. Sweep it down a little in spots. Get the idea. Alright, and here I can just start taking that down right into the beard and running it to this off to the side of the rolling pin, right out. Just run it out, get myself some starting hair. And the grooves I already put in with the gouge will give some highs and lows to make the carving really, the hair anyway, really pop out. I'm going to turn it this way and run them up. Finish my cuts that I just put in. Some guys just like to leave the wavy lines, and that's the beard. They don't really want to use a V-tool. You could really painstakingly do every one of them with your detail knife too. You make a slit and then take the wood out on the sides. Run your V-tool down along the side of your mustache here if you want. Make that stand out a little more. Okay. Clean it up on the sides. Also, the side of your V-tool. See the way I'm using that? You can shave with the side of your V-tool if you have a good V-tool. Sometimes I shave up in here. I'll shave the upper part or the under part of that eyebrow, right? Or like this. If you're running inside that groove, you run inside that groove, you can actually shave underneath and take the eyeball part down a little bit, right? So you play with it. Okay, we're going to put some eyeballs in here. That's going to be the next section. And you just go around. I'm going to go around with my V-tool and do all this hair. And then we'll come back and see what he looks like. Okay. Now I cleaned him up a little bit more. I have the beard hair in. Okay, sanded him a little again. This piece really needs a lot of sanding. You can see at the bottom he's just all chipped up and breaking apart and stuff. This type of rolling pin, but we're getting something out of them. Okay, we still need some mustache lines, and we have to put eyes on. I'd also like to come up here and maybe put a part for his hair. If not, we could leave it the way it is, and it'd come out looking pretty good probably. You could see the, I don't know if you could see, there you go, you could see the detail line with that light from that V-tool. Okay, sometimes the light doesn't work with you, and we have to put our eyes in. So what I'm going to do is take my pencil. I'm going to try and hold this in the camera here. They say if you're right-handed, you should always start with the left eye first. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw me an eyelid. I'm going to put these in with the detail knife because I want nice clean lines here. And then I'm going to draw one over here on this side. Just like that. Okay. And put the eyes in. You definitely want to make sure you have enough wood underneath, alright, enough clearance. So after we cut these two lines, we're going to make two stop cuts right across those lines. We're going to take some wood out from underneath and make sure we have enough wood there to shape an eyeball. So I'm going to take the corner of my detail knife and push it right in, right next to the nose. And I'm going to make my stop cut right across that line. Okay? Really deep in the corner there. Turn it around, make it really deep in this corner. Then I'm going to undercut that stop cut. Come in here for our removal cut. And just take some wood out of there. Try and get right up underneath it best you can. You can do this with a V-tool too. With this piece though, the V-tool seems to dig it up pretty good, and I always end up going back and sanding it again, so I'm going to use my detail knife. Like I said, almost anything you can do with a V-tool, you can do with a detail knife. Some of the best carvings I've ever seen, as a matter of fact, were done with just a bench knife. And you don't need all the fancy gouges and everything else. Now once I take that out, I'm going to come under here and I'm going to shave some of that. Remember that roll cut we did? Just kind of roll your blade all the way up into the corner. So I want to make sure I have enough. I don't want it too bulgy there underneath that eyelid. That's his eyelid. That's what we're making here. Okay, same on this side. Make our stop cut. Okay. I'm going a little above the stop cut because I want to try and erase that pencil line I put in. I guess I'd have to hold this way so you can see it. I'm going to try and make sure that corner's cut in pretty good. It's all about the corners when you're doing eyes. Those corners got to be deep. And removal cut underneath the lid. Again, right here in the corner, I'm going to take that out a little bit more. Doesn't quite seem to have enough depth there that I'm looking for. Okay, now I'll start roll cutting in, get some of that cheek down so I can put my eye in there. So if you do this in the beginning, since the gouge was even digging this rolling pin up, in the beginning, if I would have taken these corners down, the inside corners by the nose here, right? If I would have taken them down really deep and gouged them out, I wouldn't be doing this now. So make sure you really dig those out at that stage. Sometimes making a video, you get in a little hurry and you run out of tape, you try to put on what you can, you sit there and work on it a little bit more. So, okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the corner over here and I'm going to try and round that out, make an eyeball in there. Best way to attack it, I guess, is this way. I'm going to dig my knife in, again right at the corner there, okay, and then come here, dig it in there, okay, do the same on the other side, right at the corner, get a good impression, and then right at the corner again, going the other way. Then we're going to pop those corners out to get that roundness of that eyeball, hopefully. This wood just splits apart on you. I'm trying to maintain my line there without all the wood breaking apart. But okay, we're going to pop this corner out. We're going to try. There it goes. And get that little shadow there. I have to pick at it for a minute or two. Okay. That's one. Now I got to go to this side and pop this side out. How good you can see that. Hold it in the camera so you can see it. And then I'll clean my eyebrow off there, or my eyelid. We say eyebrow, but it's actually the lid we're working on here. Underneath the lid is the top eyelid. There we go. Okay, the corner still needs to come out a little bit, but getting the shadow. You would round that over from the center towards the corner there. And if I don't have enough room, what I would do is take out underneath right here a little bit. I could do that with my knife by just kind of cutting up like that. Give myself a little more room for that eyebrow. angles down over the eye there. Okay, still a little high right here. Alright, so I'm going to shave that a little bit. You really want to be able to get up in there and form that roundness. I know it seems really weird that that can be round when you make it kind of flat in the beginning, but trust me, that's the best way to do it, is give yourself enough room. Okay, dig that corner out a little bit more. I'm going to go back to the other side. Pop that one out. Okay. Okay, so we have the corners out. I'm going to go to this side, right where the eyelid meets the nose. Dig in pretty good there. Okay. And then again this way. And then pop the corner out. Guess what? That's why they say do the left side first, because the right side pops right out for you if you're right-handed. Left side's always the one that you got the funky eye, you know. Okay. That corner's out. Come over to this side here. I'll turn it over for that. Dig in. Right under the lid. Make your little V there. 2 stop cuts that come together in a little point. And pop that corner out. I'm trying to turn it so you can see here. And that corner comes out. There. That's usually what gives you the roundness, okay, to that eyeball. Oh, almost lost it there. Okay. Still want to maintain that brow, brow again. That lid line, right? Now, we're going to put our holes in for the iris, all right? I'm going to get a gouge for that, a small gouge. Make the difference between a really carving that's really full of character and a carving that's kind of so-so, you know. A lot of times it's in the eyes. You have a good eye, the rest of the carving you can kind of be so-so. You have a bad eye, a good carving can look really bad. Okay, I'm going to take some wood on that cheek out from underneath that bag. Like every time I try to use that V tool on this wood, it just breaks it apart. Okay. One more time. Get the gouge. See if I can save this eye. Sometimes you just do it at the wrong angle, which I did in the beginning, trying to hold it in the camera, and really hard to recover. Alright, this eye right here needs a little bit more taken down and rounded off. He looks a little too bug-eyed. Usually you need to round it off a little better and carve it down some when they look fishy. You know what those fish eyes look like? It just looks like he's bugging at you. Usually if you shave it down into the corners and take some of it down, that really takes care of the bug-eyed look. You might have to round it towards the bottom too, so just so you know, that's how you troubleshoot those. Okay, I'm going to add some lines for the nose. I'm still playing with that left eye. Not for the nose. For the mustache. We're going to add some lines for that. And pretty much sand them up, and once we sand them up, You can stain them, you can paint them. Sometimes it helps to extend the corner of the eye a little bit if you're not getting the effect you want. It helps bring it out too. Make sure that lid extends a little more than you thought you might want it. There. Okay, now if I shaved all that up and got my shadows right, he won't look bad. Sand them down. Now, same thing, I'm just going to add the V tool. I'm going to get the V tool and try and cut some lines one last time. I'm going to take it from underneath and see if it helps any. Just a couple of lines. Try not to make them too straight. It's working good on the mustache. That's where we took so much down. We're into the good wood here, so it's cutting like it should. So the mustache should come out pretty good. Got all the breaking out. Just a couple of lines. Try not to make them too straight. Put a little curve in them, you know. The other side, I really recommend doing this from the bottom up. It tends to cut a lot better if you're using a V tool. Of course, it depends on what you're doing, what carving, and the way the grain's running. But on this piece, from the bottom up seems to be working best. Okay, maybe one more. Now take a couple little ones up here by the nose. Be careful, don't run into your nose. Okay, he's pretty much finished. Sand them down a little. Oh, that's what we forgot. That's what I forgot. We have to give him some eyebrow lines. He's got no eyebrows. I'm going to do the same thing with the V tool. I'm going to run real lightly. Might have to hold him this way. And I'm just going to make a couple of lines with my V tool. Try not to break the wood out, because that's where they seem to break out all the time. Up in here. V tool isn't going to work that great. This one might work pretty good. Nope, it's breaking out a little there too. But you get the idea. Give them a couple little divots up there. You have a problem, go to your Dremel. Use a little bit, maybe put them in. And sand it down. Any kind of contrast that you break up a little bit, it breaks up a little bit, it's going to look pretty good. I'm going to brush them off. And we pretty much have a rolling pin that we bought at the dollar store. We'll try it. There we go. Get you to see them a little better. On the side. Yeah, you can stain him. You could paint him. You could do a lot. I have a light on over here. I'm going to try and see if I move that light. You can see him any better. Let's try that. Walking in front of the camera and everything else. You can see him any better without that light glaring. Okay. He looks kind of bright in the camera. But that's our rolling pin. Got it at the flea market. You can get them at the dollar store for $1. Nice little afternoon project. Thanks for watching. And I look forward to carving with you again really soon.